It's very nice.
Don Williams, the pilot.
Respect you a lot. For keep up the good work.
Thanks very much.
His wife Linda. Jeff Hoffman, who you got to see go outside and have some lunch. His wife Barbara. Karen Griggs.
How do you do? Nice.
And person today was our other spacewalker.
Thank you.
Dr. Ray said.
Hello, Mr. President.
She operated the arm and snagged the switch for us.
Well,
My husband, Sue Gibson, who is a spouse on this trip, but he was flown before in space and will again. He's an astronaut also. They've got the only 3-year in the world that said both mommy and daddy flew in space. Charlie Walker, who shared the middeck with me, having sit too close to me.
see you. Thank you, sir.
His wife, Melissa.
See you. Well, do you suppose we could have just the crew over here for a little group shot? Thank you. Wait just 1 second before you break up there. Some souvenirs. They're just little souvenirs. Sir, thank you.
Thank you.
And I know you've got this.
You know something?
No. You do?
No, I had to go in space to get a set.
Probably do it again to get another set, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Well, listen, it's good to see all of you here. I have a question I want to ask, and that is, you ever, when a countdown begins, find yourself thinking that that thing was built for the lowest bidder?
Mostly served by a bunch of very dedicated people. We've all worked with them.
Working for one of those companies that happens to be the lowest bidder sometime. I know that the companies do very good work.
Well, they sure must. I remember, I've never gotten over my confusion away, but also having known when we were on the glide path of Air Force One, and the one landing that I did see out at Edwards, and they got us up on the platform because they said that the shuttle was on its approach. And I said, well, where is it? And he said, it's just over Honolulu.
Be here in a few minutes.
So I was just going to show you this poster. While we were in Utah, we saw it up at Flagpole, and I think it sums up our feeling towards the shuttle program. It was taken during our launch, and it shows the shuttle above the American flag with "Way to go, America." And I think that's a very fitting saying.
Yes, it is.
Sort of, you know, we as the crew certainly appreciate you having us here. And I think that more than that, we appreciate your support of the space program.
Well,
You know,
I do support that.
it's the challenge and opportunity of our time. And if we're going to be competitive and safe, I think we have to keep our own there.
Yes.
And I know Jake, Senator Garn, now that we're in Washington. Will echo.
My president calls me Jake, you can. I want to tell you, Mr. President, how proud I am of these people. We were excited that you called us in space, and they really do a fantastic job. I can say that I have had very close oversight, not only this crew, but NASA, and I'm so proud of each one of them, the job that they did out there when we were attempting to save that satellite was really remarkable. And we can be very proud of not only this group, but the other crews. There are a lot of dedicated people at NASA that put in a lot of time, a lot of extra effort for not very much money, and take a lot of risk for our country.
Yes. Well, I am proud, and I'm proud of our senator there.
And we got him back.
I had a desperate need for a couple of hours, and I was almost prepared if he hadn't gotten back on time to ask you to drop him off.
I made it back about an hour before the next
We're proud of him too. He did a great job.
It's wonderful every time to see. I think the whole country is so very proud of the shuttles and all of you that do this. Really.
This is a very historic office, as you know, and I've known several presidents, been in this office with them, but this is the best one. And I don't say that just your face, I've said it to you privately. So, I mean, in front of
And I thank you.
people, he's a great human being. Forgetting being president vicariously through Paul Laxall, I had the opportunity to meet him a long time before he became the president. And the side that people don't see of he and Nancy is the side I wish they could. You get all this political stuff that we have to put up with here in Washington, and the images that are created, and some of the criticism that I see is really very disappointing when you know people on a personal basis. Like Kathleen and I have had the opportunity to know the president and Nancy. You just don't find more decent, sincere human beings any place than those two. And their devotion to each other and this country, and for a long time I had the opportunity to do that. Until Howard Baker left, I haven't seen you as much as I left the leadership with him. But we admire you personally, far beyond what you do for the country as president.
Well, although as Jake has told us, I think we all appreciate someone who has the vision to look forward where we're going and to sponsor something, direct something like the space station effort. That's the next step, and you ain't seen nothing yet.
Thank you. And this group over here.
This is the ground crew.
Yes.
But I have a hunch that flights like that, you're alone, even though you're down here
Yeah.
and kind of sweating it out
Mhm.
very much. And I think you're very fortunate to have this ground crew.
All of us spouses are extremely honored to have been included today.
Thank you.
It's the only reason we want to come back from space is because of them. Otherwise, we would just
Well, I know something about it, what it must take to be like.
So when are we going to see your name on the next manifest?
Well, as I said, it's so much higher than the horse. You've got to. And in fact, I tried to tell Cap Weinberger the only reason I took this job was to see if I couldn't reinstitute the horse cavalry. So now that may make me looking back as well as ahead.
But even the cavalry makes it to the high peak sometimes, so.
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
President, thank you for your time.
I tell you, I know firsthand of an incident that happened way back in those days when there was a citizen military training program, and there were some reserve officers and cavalry officers, associates of mine, and they'd have annually in the summertime a couple of 2 weeks maneuvers and so forth, and these citizen training, this would be their kind of high spot. And one night in one of those, just reminds you a little bit of your countdown also, young lieutenant with a platoon of cavalry, and he was supposed to break camp at 1 a.m. without showing a light, and then rendezvous with another platoon at a point some distance away. And everything was working fine, except that they couldn't get one horse to move. Just, and they did it with a rifle, and they did other things, and it wouldn't move. Finally, he had to break out a flashlight, see if they could find out what was wrong. They had saddled it to the picket line. So takeoff didn't come. Well, God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity to participate in this great adventure.
Well,
For the women of the group, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please press on.
Mr. President, I'd like to leave with you one small token. This is the electrophoresis project, the pharmaceutical purification project that I flagged with. A small token of that program.
thank you very much. Well, not quite as high.
offices and visit us sometime.
I thought that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, well,
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And this was for Nancy. It was the child that has the patch of
oh,
our spouses for.
thank you.
It's good to see you again. Thanks for letting us come in.